Assalamu alaikum everybody. I am Ishrun Nazish and as promised, हम right on time है. It is 4:30 p.m. and हमने जो आपसे वादा किया था कि हम डॉक्टर वली मुगनी साहब के साथ आएंगे और एक बहुत इन डेप्थ कन्वर्सेशन रखेंगे कि एविएशन इंडस्ट्री क्या है और इसमें जो है करियर कैसे परस्यू कर सकते हैं और क्या एजुकेशनल पाथ हमें जो है वो अडॉप्ट करनी चाहिए एंड लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैड अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस हमने काफ़ी नोट किए हुए हैं मगर अगर आपके पास हैं और तो आप बिल्कुल कमेंट सेक्शन में देते रहिए हम उनको एड्रेस करते रहेंगे आई डोंट थिंक आई कैन डू enough justice to the introduction of Dr. Wali Mughni. So I'm inviting him. वो खुद अपना introduction देंगे. Let's welcome him. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on board.
You're welcome, Ishrun, anytime. Like you said, I need to introduce myself first. ज़ाहिर है लोगों को इतना ज़्यादा पता नहीं होगा, हो सकता है कि they might have heard, but nonetheless I'll go a little bit in detail ताकि not to glorify myself, but essentially to motivate others who can do better than me, inshallah. So I started off my professional career in 1968 when I joined the Pakistan Air Force, and then onwards it was a roller coaster ride, very enjoyable, very exciting, and I loved and still love every bit of it. Rashid Minhas, so just to give you a fair idea as to which year I'm talking about, Rashid Minhas was my course mate and he was my class fellow. We flew together, and in fact, when his accident took place, I was actually coming on the finals. Finals means you're just about to come in and land. And his aircraft was taking off. Just to give you a short story on this thing before I start off on my description about what I do, what I did. At that time, when he said he was rolling on the runway, and he gave a call. I'm being hijacked. I'm being hijacked. So I said, ये बहुत गलत किस्म का किसी ने गंदा मजाक किया है. Air Force में hijack कभी सुनने में नहीं आता, right? And I said, what is he talking about? He must be, making fun or making people laugh as to. So he continued like that, and then he took off, obviously, and I came in and landed, and then just after I landed, two F-86s took off behind me, and they started following this aircraft. And of course, at that time, I lost visual contact with them. Lekin obviously, he was a great person, both in terms of his professional ability and his passion. And just to give you a very brief rundown on, what kind of a person he was, he would always read war books about flying, about fighter flying. And although he was very meek and slim, but he was a very, very strong-hearted and a person who was who had a will of somebody who's a giant. I mean, so that is what he did. Actually, he crashed the aircraft down and not let it go across the border, which would have actually changed the entire impression about Pakistan. So, so much for him, and Alhamdulillah, he got Nishan-e-Haidar and of course Shahadat of the highest order, and may Allah give him a great place in heavens. So we started off with flying the fighters from F-86. I flew all the way, almost all the fighters in the Air Force. I flew F-16s in the end, and interestingly, I commanded two fighter squadrons and had two flying wings. Not many people do that. And I was, alhamdulillah, again, I tell people it is not human beings who achieve all this. It is obviously with the will of God, you only make an attempt and you try your best. So I was the top gun of Pakistan Air Force. Top gun is a guy who does the best in fighter flying, both in air combat and ground shooting, which includes like strafing, rocketing, bombing, high level combat, low level combat. There are 13 different categories in which you are judged, and if you achieve 95% and above in everything, then you get an award like it's called Sher Afghan Award. So Alhamdulillah, I achieved that, and not many people in the Air Force have been given that kind of an honor. And later on, did a number of interesting missions across the border. Maybe in some other session we can talk about it, because that'll be a session in itself. And Alhamdulillah, again, the President of Pakistan conferred upon me the Sitare Basalat. Now, Sitare Basalat is the highest peacetime award that anybody can get, and it's an operational award. So everything went great with me while I was there in the Air Force for 24 long years. But today it seems 24 short years. But nonetheless, I was, the last appointment was, I was Director Operational Plans. And that's a very coveted appointment, where you are actually planning as to how you're going to fight, how your Air Force is going to pitch against the enemy. It's a 400 plus page document that I had written. And so I tell people that mera dimag kharab ho gaya tha, and my the little grandson, he says, don't say that. Dimag kharab ho gaya tha. But it means that I had achieved so much in while I was there in the Air Force, that I started thinking nobody is better than me, which is something wrong. It's a lesson that I tell my students, don't do that. So जो कुछ भी आपको अल्लाह ताला ने इज्जत दी, या जो कुछ आपको कामयाबी मिली, वो सब कुछ अल्लाह की तरफ से होती है, और इंसान खुद से कुछ नहीं करता. You just make an attempt, you just do your best and leave the rest, and अल्लाह ताला जो है वो फिर आपको सब कुछ देता है, और वो तो सब कुछ दे सकता है. Anyway, I decided to leave the Air Force because my immediate boss, I would argue with them, and I would say that this is not right, that is right, and so on. And ultimately, I thought, I might not be a good fit. At that point in time, I had done my master's in war studies, and I had also done my BBA honors from IBA. So I said, why don't I pursue education in aviation? And, this is something that was my passion anyway. So I approached the world's largest and the most popular university, which is called the Howard of Aviation. And that is Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's a beautiful setup over there. They have their own runway. They have their own flying school over there. And of course, you study aviation management and so many other disciplines, everything related with aviation. So I applied over there, and they accepted me based on my track record and my educational background and all. So I went to within 15 days after leaving the Air Force, and of course the Air Force didn't want to leave me. The Chief of the Air Staff asked me to stay back, and I actually resigned, and he said, no, you stay back, whatever it is. And a lot of people approached me, but I had made my decision that I must go and study something that others have not. And I'll study from the best of the universities in the world. So ultimately, the Chief of the Air Staff gave me a release with all the benefits. You get a lot of financial benefits along with it and all that. So people said, you're getting so much. Why are you going and spending this thing off in America? And you need to do something where you can make more money. And I said, no, this money, whatever I've got, must be spent on something that's an investment for the nation, for the youth. I'm going to come back and one day transfer all this knowledge that I'm going to gain, and hopefully that was my passion at that time. That was my vision at that time, and it turned out that the reality is now the dream is turning into a reality. So. Again, to cut it short, since I'd spent a lot of money over there, I said, I might not be able to survive in terms of, you have to spend money in your accommodation and your books and studies and so on and so forth. But again, as luck would have it, there was a competition from NASA after the first semester. And in the first semester, everybody was looking at me and said, here's a fighter pilot who's come from Pakistan. He's the Top Gun and all that. So let's see how he does. So, I literally put in like, you burn your midnight oil. So I worked very, very hard. And I got 4.0 in the first semester. And then came this competition, which was by NASA, and it was on simulation studies in related with flying. To be more specific, those of you who may understand, it's disorientation, pilot disorientation, and you had to simulate that and what are the things that happen and what is the effect of various factors, including effect of alcohol on pilot disorientation. So I designed a simulation study, and I wrote a paper on that, and I gave a presentation. And again, alhamdulillah, I got an award by Link Foundation on that. And subsequently, NASA decided to give me a stipend that education was almost free. In fact, I would get some money also. So that was, something that gave me a big relief. And I did my MBA with 4.0 in aviation, of course, and then followed it up with my PhD. Obviously, this took a lot of time and effort and sacrifice, both in terms of, devoting yourself, and obviously there's a trade-off between enjoyment and family life and all that. But those few years of my studies, I really put in all my effort that I possibly could. So anyway, then I was engaged in a research project by NASA, and I did a lot of research work, mostly on simulation studies. And subsequently, a number of papers were published in international magazines, and I have them in the Library of Congress also, which is, alhamdulillah, another feather in the cap, if you will. So stayed to make it a little shorter. I stayed almost 17 years in United States. And that is the time I decided I must get back. And what I owe to the country and to the youngsters, I must pass on whatever I have learned back in Pakistan. I also did, apart from the fact that, NASA was paying me some stipend and all. And then, of course, subsequently I got various assignments and making decent money. But I was also on weekends flying aerobatics and teaching aerobatics, and that's also fairly interesting aspect. So anyway, came back almost like about 13, 14 years ago. And when I came back over here, I was approached initially by Shaheen Foundation. They said, why don't you, the chief of the air staff was Kaleem Saadat, Air Marshal Kaleem Saadat, and he happened to be my course mate. It's something very, very interesting that's never going to happen again. Is my course mate there are 3 of the course mates who became chief of the air staff. I'm sure none of you would ever guess as to how can it be possible कि एक कोर्स में से 3 air chief बन जाएं, right? But it happened because one of the air chief was Kaleem Saadat, and two of my course mates became air chief in Bangladesh because post 1971 there was a split, and obviously Bangladesh Air Force was formed, and so two of them became over there. So one course, three air chiefs, and so anyway, so Kaleem Saadat he asked me to take over one of the Shine Foundation's organizations, which I did. And then subsequently, another colleague who was in PIA, he came to me and he said, no, PIA needs somebody who would set up a university for them and, related with aviation. So I did that. We started Palpa Institute of Aviation and Management Sciences. We ran that for a while, and then people thought that, we don't need to pay Dr. Wali so much. We can run it ourselves. I said, fine. If you want to do that, go ahead. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. In the meantime, I left that and I started up there's something in the background. Is this normal? Can you hear something? Okay. Anyway, so I started off a flying school, Air Academy in Faisalabad. I had brought two aircraft from States, and one aircraft was bought over here, and we started up on a flying school in Faisalabad. Very good, very nice facility over there, and I was, going smooth and steady. When all the students who were there in Palpa Institute, they came up. They said, "We have left the institute because you're not there. So help us, guide us." And we joined because of you and all that. I said, this is very difficult because I'm already involved in this. They said, "No, sir, you have to do it." And I said, "Fine." I mean, if so many students get together and they ask you something, obviously it is somebody's commitment. So finally I said, okay, fine. I came back to Karachi, and we started an institute called Institute of Business Administration and Aviation Sciences, IBAS. And we got affiliated with Karachi University first, and then subsequently with Federal University. Nonetheless, it didn't pan out too long when I said, what we were teaching and what the grades that they were getting, and there was too much of under the table activity. You understand what is under the table activity, So that forced me. I said, no, this is going to spoil my reputation, the institution's reputation, and we moved all the students that we had to PF Keith. And the president of PF Keith was and is actually my student also. And I told him, Air Marshal Tabriz, that this is what it is. These students are here, and I'll take care of the aviation management over here. So, which I did. And we started off with a small number, and today we have about a little over 850 students studying in this domain or in this discipline of aviation management. So that was, something that was going on. And very recently, I said, now I need to start off something myself. And so I teamed up with a number of good people who are passionate and who thought that, aviation is important, and we need to get people into this area of education. Because this is something that is not being offered at many places in Pakistan. You can just maybe count them on fingertips. So we started off this organization called Aviation Institute of Management, located in Karachi, in Gulistan-e-Johar area. It's on the Palace Road. It's a beautiful facility. Only a few days ago, we had aviation fun day for people to come in and see all the things that are possible to develop their interest in aviation. And people ask us, why are you emphasizing aviation so much, right? And I tell them, you know what? Aviation is something which is not only exciting, it is also very paying. You also get a lot of respect. Uh, but the most important thing of all is that aviation has a very positive correlation, those of you who understand correlation statistics, with the economy of a country. So if the aviation goes up, the GDP of a country goes up. Why? Because it is related with trade, it is related with businesses, it is related with travel and tourism. And, if you take out, I give this example because I wrote a paper on this, and I presented my paper in Amsterdam a few years ago. Of course, that was very interesting thing. So I'll share just a gist of it. One of the measures of finding out as to where is the aviation in terms of comparison with another country. How do you do that? It's not the number of planes. It's not by number of airports or something, but they see how many people travel on airplanes. So planing and deplaning, right? How many people enplane and deplane, or get on board and then get off board. So in 1970, Pakistan had a flow of passengers that totaled up to 1.5 million. 1.5 million. And Singapore at that time was only 0.73 million, almost half. So when I compared, I said, I'm going to compare Singapore with Pakistan in aviation. They said, what are you talking about? Singapore, it's apples and oranges. I said, no. Pakistan was way ahead of Singapore in 1970. The only unfortunate thing is we did not pay enough emphasis on aviation education, nor did we pay emphasis on aviation infrastructure, nor did we pay emphasis on making things more easy and manageable for people to come in. The barriers to entry were plentiful. Anyway, in Singapore, what happened was, at that time in 1970, there was a founder who actually established the entire Singapore. Singapore is a very small country. He said, you know what? The first thing we're going to do is establish one of the best airlines in the world, and we're going to establish one of the best airports in the world. People said, guy, you're just crazy. This is such a small country. How on earth would you spend, millions of dollars in getting this airline and getting this airport here? They said, guys, what you're talking is, I don't agree with it. They said, why don't you agree with it? Because, it's such a small country, you can go from one end to the other in drive actually from one end to the other. In how much time do you know? Just about 45 to 50 minutes. And you're talking about such a huge investment in airport and airline. He said, no, this is what is going to take off Singapore. And he wrote a book, From Third World to First, and he proved it. Today, Singapore is 7 times larger in aviation and 7 times larger in terms of the economy, GDP. So, these are the two benchmarks or measuring ways of finding out the economy and the aviation. And Pakistan lagged behind because of the education as well as infrastructure development and importance.
Dr. Sahab, आपने इतने सारे जो है वो सवालों के जवाब दे दिए हैं, बट आप बात कर रहे थे कि एविएशन इंडस्ट्री है क्या. मैं आपसे यहाँ पूछना चाहूंगी कि how many fields of specializations are there in aviation industry? क्योंकि जब आप सुनते हैं एविएशन इंडस्ट्री तो लोगों का ख्याल होता है कि जहाज उड़ाना, but there is a complete industry, various fields हैं. Can you please tell us what they are?
Yeah, absolutely. देखें, एविएशन जब बात करते हैं तो लोग समझते हैं या आप पायलट बनेंगे या फिर आप एरोनॉटिकल इंजीनियर बन जाएंगे, राइट? So this is not true. There are so many areas that cover the entire spectrum of the aviation industry. अब aviation industry में over the years it is very, of course, technology intensive. It is very capital intensive, and it is also very education and training intensive. तो इसमें मैनेजर्स की रिक्वायरमेंट बहुत जगहों पे होती है, whether it is the operations that are going on, or even when flying and scheduling हो रही है, different routes आप plan कर रहे हैं, इसको सारों को manage करें. Today aviation is all about managing technology. So aviation is like I said, technology intensive, but it has to be managed. So management is one of the most important and critical aspect that people do not really know. Okay, aviation managers are also one of the most highly paid professions in the world. Air traffic controllers भी बहुत highly paid हैं, pilots भी reasonably paid हैं, but aviation managers are absolutely critical and important for the growth of the aviation industry, as well as, and I said there's a correlation between aviation and economy, right? And there's a correlation between education and aviation also. So आपकी बहुत ज़रूरी है, it's absolutely critical कि आप aviation management की तरफ भी जाएं. And within aviation management, there are many other sub-disciplines, if you will, where you can get in and specialize yourself. Revenue management, for example. There's a lot of artificial intelligence being used in that. And so अगर आप travel कर रहे हैं, and you're sitting in an aircraft, right? And अगर आप right वाली सीट पे जो बैठा हुआ है उससे बात करें और left वाली सीट से आप बात करें, and say कि भाई आपने कितने का टिकट लिया और आपने खुद ने कितने का लिया, और जो आपके जो neighbors हैं left or right पे बैठे हुए हैं, you'll find that everybody has a different price ticket. And how do they manage that? How to maximize or optimize your entire operations, including your ticket pricing. इनके बहुत systematic procedures होते हैं, buckets बनती हैं, और फिर उसके बाद आप देखते हैं, और फिर different softwares इस्तेमाल होते हैं जिसको artificial intelligence database से pull करके it comes out that this is the best thing to do. This is something that we are actually doing. Aviation Institute of Management specializes in aviation management area. And of course, we want to do one thing which is very important and very, I would say, critical in the growth of nations, and that is the filling the gap between the industry and the academia. So अगर आपकी एकेडेमिया एक डायरेक्शन में जा रही है और आपका इंडस्ट्री एक डायरेक्शन में जा रही है, तो होता क्या है कि आप पढ़ के तो जब इंडस्ट्री में जाते हैं तो वो आपकी कंपनी कहती है यार ये तुमने क्या पढ़ा, ये तो हमारे लिए एप्लीकेबल ही नहीं है, राइट? So even I have been in this business of education for a long time now, and I see many of these instructors, faculty members, they come in, whatever they read 30 years ago, जो किताब पढ़ी थी उसी से वो पढ़ा रहे होते हैं. They don't know really the new trends in the technology and all that. But aviation is something that you have to remain on top of everything in terms of knowledge and new things coming up, new procedures coming up, and also you will feel that new technologies you have to learn them and you have to teach them. और इसके साथ साथ जो एक और क्रिटिकल चीज है वो है कि इट इज बीइंग रेगुलेटेड. दिस इज एन इंडस्ट्री that changes your lifestyle. और आपकी, that is why I say aviation is not only economic, has an economic impact, but it has a socio-economic impact. आपके social character and your behavior all changes if you're there in aviation. If you paid emphasis, you'll be more disciplined. You have to follow certain procedures. There's no choice there but to come on time, right? And आप ये नहीं कर सकते कि अपनी मर्जी का कुछ भी कर लें. You have to follow certain ways of doing things, whether it be a pilot, whether it be an engineer, whether it be a manager, a scheduler, operations manager, anything that is related, even air traffic controllers. So ये सारी चीजें एविएशन आपको सिखाती है. तो अगर आप एविएशन इंडस्ट्री में आप आते हैं और एविएशन के बारे में आप एक एक्सपर्टीज लेकर के जाते हैं, तो यू विल फाइंड कि आपकी जिंदगी भी चेंज होएगी. It's not that you'll of course you will make more money, but you will also become much more disciplined and you'll become more organized. So there's a lot that one can learn while you're there in the aviation.
All right. अच्छा, ये बताएं कि how can one pursue career in aviation?
जी,
मतलब हमारे पास और कौन से एजुकेशनल एवेन्यूज हैं उसके लिए?
आपने बहुत अच्छा सवाल किया. ऑब्वियसली फॉर यंगस्टर्स पर्टिकुलरली आप देखेंगे कि लोग पूछते हैं कि अब मैं किस तरह जाऊं अगर एविएशन मैनेजर बनना है. इट्स वेरी सिंपल. अगर आप लेट्स से if you've done your inter or you have done your A levels, you can join for higher studies, do your BS in aviation management and MBA in aviation management. You can even do PhD. There are other aviation disciplines like avionics and aeronautics and air traffic control. All those things can be achieved. लेकिन अगर आप अभी youngster हैं and you are just in this high school or even in your secondary school, what we have done is we have taken the entire spectrum of education. At Aviation Institute of Management, we start off from 6th grade onwards. Now, 6th grade is just the way you have in Sargodha School, where Air Force के लिए आपके induction के लिए होती है, आपकी grooming हो रही होती है और आपको सब कुछ सिखाते भी हैं, आपकी पढ़ाई भी हो रही होती है, आपके all other physical activities, mental activities, knowledge, everything is geared towards fine-tuning you towards a profession. So हम psychometric testing भी करते हैं और फिर उसके बाद आपको बताते हैं कि भाई आपका aptitude किस तरफ है. Are you more likely to be a good pilot? Are you likely to be a good aeronautical engineer? और आप टेक्नीशियन बनेंगे या फिर आप एक मैनेजर बनेंगे. मैनेजर के अपने स्किल्स होते हैं, लीडरशिप एंड मैनेजरियल स्किल्स एंड ऑल. सो अगर वो है आप में, तो देन वी से in fact the child itself as well as the parents would be much more confident because now they know that my kid is going to take this track. He's going to become an aviation manager, for example, and he has the aptitude and he'll be trained and groomed to be that. So it is not like जिस तरह आप पाकिस्तान में देखते हैं कि यार इंटर करके देखेंगे क्या करना है, कहाँ पे, या अकाउंटिंग में चले जाएं, आईटी में चले जाएं, या कुछ और देखें, अगर आप इंजीनियर बनेंगे या डॉक्टर बनेंगे. बट those are limited things, but people do not know, they're not aware कि aviation is such a huge field and aviation is one of the fastest growing industries in the world. ठीक है. pre-COVID-19 ये सिचुएशन थी कि the GDP of the world को अगर आप देखें, एविएशन की कंट्रीब्यूशन थी $3.5 trillion. $3.5 trillion. This is one of the highest contributing industries in the world. And then employment, there were 87 point something, almost 88 million jobs were there because of the aviation industry. So, and it's and जब आप बात करते हैं कि जनाब पाकिस्तान की तो इतनी छोटी इंडस्ट्री है, 4 आपकी मुश्किल से एयरलाइंस हैं जो अभी एयर क्या नाम है इसका, एयर सियाल आया. So Air Sial is also, by the way, one of our partners. We have Karachi Aero Club as one of our partners. We have Karachi Gliding Club as one of our partners. So, I mean, we're bringing the industry and the academia together. So, we have visits, we have, exchange of internships, etc. That's what is in the planning board. तो ये सारी चीजें आपको मिलती हैं, लेकिन लोग ये समझते हैं कि यार सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में जो है 4 जहाज, इसमें आप कहाँ जगह मिलेगी. लोग ले ऑफ भी कर रहे हैं, राइट. बहुत बड़ी एयरलाइंस ने बहुत सौ को ले ऑफ भी किया है. सो अभी हम पढ़ेंगे तो किधर जाएंगे, राइट. बट लिटिल डू दे नो कि एविएशन जो है वो सिर्फ लोकल नहीं होती, एविएशन ग्लोबल होती है, राइट. So the entire world is there. अगर आपने टेक ऑफ किया तो आप यहाँ से आप अमेरिका भी जा सकते हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी जा सकते हैं, यूरोप भी जा सकते हैं.
अच्छा,
तो
फिर यहाँ पे
जी
मेरे पास आपके लिए एक सवाल ये है कि
जी
बिकॉज आप एक इंस्टीट्यूशन रन कर रहे हैं एंड यू आर ब्रिजिंग द गैप बिटवीन एकेडमिक्स एंड एविएशन, तो आपके जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है उसके अंदर अंडर ग्रेजुएट कोर्सेज हैं उसमें, और आर दे एक्सेप्टेड वर्ल्ड वाइड? आप क्या हमें इस पे एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं प्लीज?
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. अभी हमारे पास जो कोर्सेज हैं वो हैं आपके 6th ग्रेड टू 9th और ओ लेवल्स, राइट. ये बच्चों के लिए है जिसमें हम ग्रूमिंग और ये सारी चीजें करते हैं. उसके बाद हम जो सिंध बोर्ड ऑफ टेक्निकल एजुकेशन है उससे हमारा बिजनेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का एफिलिएशन है, जिसमें हम डुअल डिग्री प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं, जिसमें in 2 years for those who have done their matric they can join us, or those who have done their O level can join us, and in 2 years they'll get equivalency of inter, right. So unko do dual degree programs, dual diploma programs hain. These programs are business administration diploma as well as aviation business administration diploma, so 2 diplomas in one. And the way we have done it is the pricing is very, very reasonable, just 5,000 rupees per month, and for just a simple business administration diploma, and 6,000 for aviation business diploma combined. So total you have to just add 1,000 and you pay 6,000 and you get a dual diploma in business administration as well as aviation. उसके बाद जो हायर स्टडीज हैं उसके लिए अभी इस वक्त हमारे पास एम्ब्रियल एरोनॉटिकल यूनिवर्सिटी, जिसके सारे प्रोग्राम्स ऑनलाइन हैं, वो हम ऑफर कर रहे हैं. और उसके साथ एक बहुत ही अट्रैक्टिव और हॉट टॉपिक है, और यू नो लॉट ऑफ पीपल ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड हु कैन अफोर्ड इट, दे मस्ट डू इट, एंड दैट इज ग्रेजुएट certificate program in aviation. It's a graduate certificate program in aviation. It's an excellent program. It's basically a concentrated form of MBA in aviation. So, so you have a complete spectrum. One end you can do your master's and PhD as well from, through our institute and getting your degrees from the world's most renowned university in the world. And on the other end, we want, to give all this information and groom kids from 6th grade onwards. But Ashun, I just wanted to complete one thing, that ये लोग जोक जो कहते हैं कि जनाब आपके सिर्फ 4 airlines हैं, I want to tell them, as CPEC is coming in, this is just for your information, there are 11 airlines and 2 of them have said that we will have our hub in Gwadar. Now Gwadar is going to be one of the largest airports in Asia, right? And I'm glad that we are doing this. So, from 4, you're going to jump up, 11 आएंगी तो आपका 16 हो जाएंगे. There are 4 or 5 airlines in the pipeline जो local करना चाहते हैं. जरा COVID clear होगा, aviation थोड़ी सी pick up करेगी, they will jump in. So, from 4 you'll jump up to 20 in a matter of few years. So, this is the time to study and get yourself prepared, so that once this airline industry opens up, you will be there to get into it, because you will be most qualified person to get into the aviation industry. और दूसरी चीज जो लोग पूछते हैं कि जनाब इतने ले ऑफ्स हो रहे हैं तो क्या होगा, मैंने कहा कि this is a golden opportunity for youngsters. Why? जो ले ऑफ कर रहे हैं आप उनके प्रोफाइल्स देखें. They are older people, those who are drawing a lot of salaries, but they have spent so many years, they're just trying to get rid of them. So once the aviation starts, the fresh blood is going to come in. They pay them less, relatively speaking, and of course they will get the fresh blood with new ideas and new passion and everything. So this is an ideal thing for airlines to do, because abhi wo save kar rahe hain aur baad mein wo youngsters who are prepared, who are educated, who are trained and groomed, उनको engage करेंगे. So this is the time to study, guys.
बिल्कुल, आपने ये बहुत अच्छी बात हाईलाइट की कि ये जो वक्त है, इट इज फॉर पीपल टू टेक इंटरेस्ट इन एविएशन इंडस्ट्री। और आपने बताया कि कितनी सारी उसकी सब स्ट्रीम्स हैं एंड किस तरह से यू आर ब्रिजिंग दैट गैप बिटवीन द एकेडमिक एंड एविएशन, एंड so many courses are being pursued. अच्छा जी, अब हमारे पास कुछ बहुत अहम सवाल हैं। एक जो सवाल एक हमारे पास है कि what GCSE should you take, मतलब कौन से O level सब्जेक्ट्स हैं जो कि एविएशन इंडस्ट्री को ज्वाइन करने के लिए बच्चे को लेने चाहिए, और हमारा कट ऑफ ग्रेड क्या है फॉर O levels and other boards to pursue an undergrad or bachelor's program in aviation?
ओके, बेसिकली जो एविएशन मैनेजमेंट में है उसमें आप एज लॉन्ग एज यू हैव डन ए लेवल्स यू कैन गेट इनटू द डिग्री प्रोग्राम्स, राइट? सो ज्यादा उसमें कोई कॉम्प्लिकेशंस नहीं है। जहां तक ओ लेवल का है, जो SBTE है, सिंध बोर्ड ऑफ टेक्निकल एजुकेशन, दे ऑल्सो आर वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल इन दिस। आपने मैट्रिक कर लिया है या जिसमें भी आप करें, हम क्या करते हैं, obviously science subjects are preferred, right? But those students who have not done science, ठीक है, उनको हम क्या करते हैं, उनकी हम 0 सेमेस्टर कर लेते हैं, उनको एक्स्ट्रा कोचिंग दे देते हैं, उनको हम ग्रूमिंग के साथ साथ जो जहां पे भी वो लैक करते हैं in their educational areas, we give them extra lessons at almost negligible cost, so that हमारा पर्पस क्या है, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? बिकॉज एविएशन को स्ट्रेंथ मिलेगी, इस मुल्क को स्ट्रेंथ मिलेगी। एंड दिस एंटायर कॉन्सेप्ट अवेयरनेस का जो है, इसको वी हैव कॉइन्ड दिस टर्म, दिस नॉट देयर इन डिक्शनरी, वी कॉल इट एविएशनाइजिंग पाकिस्तान। वी वांट टू एविएशनाइज पाकिस्तान, एंड आई along with कैप्टन हादी हैं और अजीज सिद्दीकी साहब हैं, who spend their lifetime in aviation in very important and critical places. They all are teaming up. It's not me only. I have 8 or 9 people who are the linchpins of aviationizing Pakistan, and we were all working heads down, and hum bachon ko it is such an exciting field, but at the same time unfortunately awareness nahi hai logon ko, or sky is the limit. Right, but right. Those in the Aviation Institute of Management, sky is not the limit. It is home for those who are with us.
Wonderful. Yeah. Achha, now we have only few minutes left before we wind up the program. तो हमारे पास कुछ 2-3 बहुत अहम सवाल हैं, और एक सवाल हमारे पास ये आया था कि please tell about scope in aviation for females.
Okay. आपको पता है कि PIA में भी फीमेल्स पायलट्स भी हैं, कप्तान भी हैं, और दे आर डूइंग रीजनेबली वेल। इवन एयरफोर्स हैड इंडक्टेड मरियम का शहीद भी हुई थी, जो फाइटर पायलट थी। बट एयरफोर्स इज ऑल्सो टेकिंग एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोल में बहुत ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटी है। इवन फ्लाइंग आप कर सकती हैं, देयर इज नो बार्स। हमारे पास एक और इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है, आई मस्ट टेल यू दिस, वी ऑल्सो आर डूइंग व्हाट इज कॉल्ड द वर्चुअल रियलिटी फ्लाइंग, एंड वर्चुअल रियलिटी फ्लाइंग इज सो इंटरेस्टिंग, सो इमर्सिव, कि आपको लगता है कि आप सचमुच बैठे हुए। अभी हमने जो फन डे किया था, वहां पे हमने JF-17 का सिमुलेटर वर्चुअल रियलिटी के साथ बच्चों को दिया, एंड दे लव्ड इट। It actually feels that you're in there. And it is so real. One of my cousins who was also a fighter pilot, retired long time ago. So मैंने उसके साथ मैंने कहा कि let's do some aerobatics and all. He said कि I'm feeling sick. Air sickness हो रही है मुझे, So we had to land back and do that. It's so real. So we give that option for ladies and girls. This is a very good opportunity. You can be managers, you can be air traffic controllers, you can be aeronautical engineers, and there are a number of aeronautical engineers in aviation who are women. In fact, there's a society for women aeronautical engineers.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah.
This is very enlightening, और बहुत खुशी हो रही है मुझे सुनकर कि you are actually propagating कि ख़वातीन फ्लाई कर
Absolutely.
सकती हैं, करना भी चाहिए एरोनॉटिकल इंजीनियरिंग, जो कि
Yes.
एक हमारे प्रीकंसीव नोशन है कि मेल डोमिनेंट career path hai, but I'm so happy to hear कि so many
Yeah.
women pursue it, and this is something that girls should take it up. अच्छा जी,
Yeah.
आखिरी दो सवाल and then we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
ये एक हमारे जहन में ये बहुत सवाल किया गया था, बल्कि जहन में हमारे एक ख्याल है कि pursuing education for जो aviation है, ये बहुत expensive है. What would you like to say on this?
ओके ये बड़ा आपने इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल किया है यस इट इज एक्सपेंसिव बट वी हैव मेड इट वेरी सिंपल एंड अफोर्डेबल ओके स्पेशली जो हम लोकल कोर्सेज वगैरह करवा रहे हैं वी आर गेटिंग इट डन एट ऑलमोस्ट हाफ द प्राइस of or half the tuition fees of what other good schools and colleges are doing. So if you look at our pricing structure, it's very competitive, very, very reasonable. But more importantly, for those people who meet the merit, right, but they cannot afford. इस तरह बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जिनके साथ हमने एक फंड कायम किया है and some philanthropists, they have put in money over there. They said, okay, those people who are good and they are passionate. This is the criteria: being good and passionate, and they cannot afford. Okay? We give them 20%, 50%, even 100%. We have given it to some students. It's absolutely free. But this is the caveat is that they have to return it back when they can afford it. Okay? When they can afford it. If they cannot afford to return it back, nobody is going to question. There's no legal binding. And this nobody does. And we have lost one of our faculty members just recently in COVID, Professor Wali Durrani. This gentleman he was the CEO of that, and he was the registrar of Karachi University. He had introduced this Qarz-e Hasana project for students. And he said 99.9% of the students returned all the money. And majority of the students are in high positions now after reading, after studying and getting their degrees and all. And all of them returned it. And he used to say कि गरीब का बच्चा जो है वो बेईमान नहीं होता. Right? So they all of them returned it. And we're doing the same thing. We see that so many students they take this Qarz-e Hasana, they sign this paper, but this is not a legal document. This is just to inform them and keep us informed and keep it on record. And then, of course, whenever they are capable or their parents are capable, they return it. And that money is used only for the help of those students who cannot afford. So it's recycled. So Qarz-e Hasana का जो भी सवाब मिलेगा, जो philanthropists हैं उनको मिलेगा, वही सवाब वो जो रिटर्निंग स्टूडेंट होगा जिसने पैसे वापस किए अपने, उसको भी अल्लाह ताला इसमें सवाब देगा इंशाल्लाह.
Absolutely. So we come to an end of our session. जाने से पहले we would just like to know कि what is that one advice you would like to give parents and youngsters of today?
Okay. The one advice for them, for their own good, for the parents' good, for the family's good, for the society's good, and for the good of Pakistan is aviationize Pakistan. Is aviationizing Pakistan is going to turn around Pakistan. And I very firmly believe this. There are statistics that will support what I'm saying. You see Qatar, you see UAE, Emirates, and you see Turkish Airlines, and I'm in Turkey in itself, and you see Singapore. If you take out aviation out of these countries and you take out education, aviation related, there will be a great, downfall that you will see for yourself. So Pakistan ko, rise karna hai, aapko Pakistan ko upar le jana hai, to aapko aviation ki taraf aana hoga. This is aviationize Pakistan is my last word and the final word.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wali Bhungi Sahab, for your time and for sharing your immense, treasure of knowledge information with us. It was such a pleasure listening to you, asking you questions, having this conversation. We've learned so much today. We'd like to have you on board again. किसी
Yeah.
दिन फिर से आपको बुलाएंगे और आपसे फिर से सवाल जवाब करेंगे. थैंक यू सो मच एवरीवन फॉर ट्यूनिंग इन.
Thank you. Come join
Allah
us.
Hafiz everyone. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. Welcome. Thank you.